Pennywise stalks Georgie in the basement. Here's something most people completely miss. That iconic sewer scene with Georgie isn't the first time Pennywise appears in the movie. Way before Georgie reaches the storm drain, when he goes down to the basement to get the wax for his paper boat, Pennywise is already there. As Georgie makes his way down the stairs, you can see Pennywise's shiny eyes watching him from the top of the staircase for just 2 frames. He's also hiding under the stairs as Georgie passes. Pennywise was stalking Georgie inside his own house, following him, waiting for the perfect moment to attack. Once it has its eyes on you, there's no escape. Bill Skarsgård's natural ability, something that seems like special effects but is actually completely real. In that opening scene with Georgie, watch Pennywise's eyes carefully. One eye locks directly onto Georgie, but the other one is looking straight at the camera at the audience. This creates an unsettling feeling that Pennywise knows we're watching, breaking the fourth wall in the most disturbing way possible. Here's the wild part. There's zero CGI involved. Bill Skarsgård can actually move his eyes independently like a human chameleon. What you're seeing is pure unfiltered actor talent being weaponized for maximum creepiness. And once you notice it, you can't unsee how often he uses this throughout both films. Color shifting eyes. Speaking of those eyes, slow down that first Georgie encounter and watch what happens to Pennywise's eye color. They don't just glow that signature yellow, they subtly shift to a soft blue, the exact same gentle blue that Bill Denbrough has. This isn't random. Pennywise is literally adjusting himself in real time, mimicking details from Georgie's brother to build trust. It's manipulation at the most disturbing level, using tiny visual cues to make a child feel safe. And it works. The makeup tells you when to trust him. There's a visual pattern most people never catch. Whenever Pennywise is pretending to be friendly or harmless, the red lines above his eyes completely disappear. His face looks softer, almost childlike. But the second the act drops, those lines stretch upward and his entire expression tightens. It's like a warning signal built into the character design. The makeup literally tells you when the predator is about to strike. The arcade poster. In Chapter 2, when Richie revisits the arcade, pay attention to the background. Behind him, there's a torn poster with the letters IT ripped into it. It's such a subtle detail that most viewers completely miss it, while focusing on Richie's emotional reaction to being back in this childhood location. But Pennywise's presence is literally embedded in the walls around him. The creature has marked this space, leaving its signature in the most unassuming way. It's a reminder that even decades later, it is still woven into every corner of Derry, waiting and watching. The librarian becomes the balloon. Ben's library scene has a creepy detail most people miss. While Ben reads about Derry's dark history, the librarian behind him just stands there staring at him with this unsettling smile. She doesn't move or blink, just watches. But here's the kicker. In the next shot, a red balloon appears in the exact same spot she was standing, leading Ben straight to the basement. Pennywise was using her form to guide him. Then in the basement, Ben bumps into the librarian again right before the headless man appears. She's standing exactly where the danger manifests next. The librarian was Pennywise all along. Pennywise in the mural. When the losers pull Ben into the alley to patch him up, there's a black and white mural behind them showing a 1950s car. Watch what happens when the camera cuts back. Pennywise's face suddenly appears inside the mural, tucked under the car's wheel arch, just staring at them. He's literally painted into Derry's history. What makes it creepier is that later when Mike hides in this same alley, and in Chapter 2, Pennywise's face is gone from the mural. He appears and disappears from Derry's past like he's rewriting it. Stanley's Torah. Stanley's synagogue scene has a tiny detail that proves he's completely overwhelmed. When his father scolds him, freeze the frame. Stanley is holding the Torah upside down. It's quick, but it tells you everything about why he's being criticized and why he's spiraling internally. That small mistake shows how terrified he is of disappointing his father and failing his responsibilities. And that's exactly the crack Pennywise loves to slip into. He feeds on insecurity more than anything. The moment Stanley's anxiety flares, Pennywise moves closer. The clown doll room timeline. During Richie's nightmare in the clown room at the Neibolt house, the filmmakers hid an incredible Easter egg that spans the entire IT timeline. On the left side of the room, there's a doll that looks exactly like Tim Curry's 1990 Pennywise. Same hair, same suit. The complete look. On the right side, there's a doll matching the modern Bill Skarsgård, Pennywise. But it goes even deeper. These dolls represent different eras of Pennywise's reign in Derry. The Tim Curry version connects to the 1990 miniseries timeline, while the modern version represents the current films. It's a visual timeline of terror, and most viewers walk right past it. Beverly's anchor ring. Here's a detail loaded with symbolism that most people completely miss. Throughout both movies, Beverly wears a ring with an anchor on it. What do anchors do? They sink. And after countless repetitions of "you'll float too," we discover that Beverly does float after being abducted by Pennywise. But because of the love and dedication of her friends, they're able to pull her back down and out of harm's way. In a world where all the victims float, she's the one who sinks. She's the anchor. The filmmakers literally told us this through a piece of jewelry most viewers never pay attention to. Beverly's white eyes. At the end of the first film, after Pennywise kidnaps Beverly and she's floating above the ground, look at her eyes. They've rolled back completely white, just empty sockets. This is the exact same thing Pennywise's eyes do at the end of the basement scene when he sinks back into the water. The implication here is chilling. Pennywise was controlling Beverly while she floated. She wasn't just captured, she was being puppeted. This small visual detail suggests its powers go way beyond shapeshifting and fear. He can literally take control of his victims. Mrs. Kershs Secret. In Chapter 2, when Beverly meets Mrs. Kershs, something feels wrong immediately. The voice greeting her doesn't match the actress. It sounds more like Bill Skarsgård slipping through. Then there's that quick shot when Mrs. Kershs adjusts her clothes and you can see a cluster of scars on her chest. In the original story, Mike once stabbed Pennywise in the chest with a fence post. Those aren't random marks. They're proof that Mrs. Kershs isn't Mrs. Kershs at all. It's Pennywise wearing someone else's skin. Eddie married his mother. In Chapter 2, when we meet Eddie's wife Myra, pay close attention to the actress. She's played by the same person who played Eddie's mother in the first film. This wasn't a casting accident. It was done intentionally to show that Eddie literally married his mother. The casting choice is a visual representation of how Eddie never escaped his childhood trauma. His overbearing, controlling mother shaped him so deeply that he sought out the exact same dynamic in his marriage. It's a disturbing detail that adds so much depth to Eddie's character without a single line of dialogue explaining it. Derry's reincarnation curse. Here's one of the darkest details in Chapter 2 that most viewers completely miss. The actress who plays Betty Ripson, one of Pennywise's victims in the first film, returns in Chapter 2 as one of the people who attacks Adrian Mellon at the carnival. This wasn't random casting. It's a visual representation of Derry's curse. Those who die horrible deaths become trapped, their spirits reincarnated into hateful, violent people. It's the town's cycle of violence made visible through a casting choice. The graffiti in Beverly's bathroom. At the end of Chapter 2, when Beverly is in the bathroom, look at the wall of the stall. There's a crudely drawn graffiti version of Pennywise pressed on the wall. This wasn't in the stall during the first film when Beverly sits there being tormented by Greta the bully, so Pennywise added it later, leaving his mark. Next to the drawing are the words, "Big is what it seems." This plays directly into how they defeat the creature at the end by showing they're mentally stronger than it. This crude kid's drawing lets you know that Pennywise will always be a part of Derry, one way or another. The missing children on the TV show. When the adults in Derry are watching that creepy children's show called the Derry Children's Hour, there's a horrifying detail hiding in plain sight. If you look closely at the TV screen, sitting next to the presenter are the missing children from Derry. But they're not just sitting there. They all have severe wounds on their bodies, visible injuries that show exactly how Pennywise killed them. These dead children are right there on the screen, displayed for everyone to see, but the hypnotized adults watching don't react at all. They just stare blankly at the TV like nothing is wrong. It's another layer of Pennywise's control over the town, broadcasting the evidence of his murders directly into people's homes while they sit there completely oblivious. The children are screaming for help through the television, and nobody sees them. Pennywise walks behind Bill in the funhouse. In Chapter 2, during the funhouse scene where Bill is desperately chasing the young boy who now lives in his old house, there's a terrifying detail most viewers completely miss. While Bill is running through the hall of mirrors, frantically searching, Pennywise walks behind him multiple times in the background. He's there in the reflection, stalking Bill through the maze of mirrors, getting closer and closer. At one point, Pennywise even appears right over Bill's shoulder, close enough to touch him, but Bill doesn't see him. The creature is hunting him the entire time, playing playing with him, and most viewers are so focused on Bill's panicked search for the kid that they never notice the clown following him through the mirrors. Once you spot it, the entire scene becomes infinitely more terrifying because you realize Pennywise was in control the whole time, toying with his prey before making the final move. If you like these hidden details, don't forget to like and subscribe for more Stephen King universe lore.